The big fear now is a second wave of infections.
Wearing a mask and temperature checks have become the daily routine.
There is a general atmosphere of panic in India regarding COVID-19.
That people in Europe would ask me to send them this. This is what streets will look like here in France for at least 2 weeks, because the country is under lockdown and the peak of the epidemic is at least a few weeks away.
Seats already set up for Semana Santa, Sevilla's world-famous Easter processions. Those preparations almost seem like a thing of a past era at the moment. Nothing is normal here in Sevilla anymore. Streets are empty, shops are closed, and people start to worry about their economic future.
From the beginning of the crisis, Israel has taken drastic steps to slow down the spread of COVID-19. Israelis returning from any country have to go straight into self-quarantine for 14 days. Foreigners cannot enter the country unless they have a place to quarantine. The country is under partial lockdown. Schools, malls, restaurants and cultural places are closed. The Palestinian Authority has also put in place strict measures. There is a lot of worry about a possible outbreak of the virus in the closed-off Gaza Strip.
Istanbul is adapting to life under coronavirus. Even the city's beloved coffee shops are now shuttered, along with bars, theatres, cinemas. The schools too have been closed for at least 2 weeks, and the city's mosques have cancelled prayers. This is a city adapting to a new life.
The number of coronavirus cases is steadily increasing in Pakistan, yet we see the life goes on pretty normally here in the city of Karachi. People are not following the health directives. They are taking it pretty lightly, and if they continue to do it, Pakistan could be the next epicenter of the coronavirus, and the next few days are very crucial on how Pakistan is going to deal with the coronavirus situation.
There is a general atmosphere of panic in India regarding COVID-19. Across many states, schools, malls and movie theatres have been shut down and companies have switched to teleworking. While experts claim that India is not conducting enough tests, the government says that they are taking all possible measures to contain the spread of the virus.
Malaysia begins 14 days of restricted movement. Now, except under special circumstances, foreigners are not allowed into the country. Malaysians are not allowed to leave the country. People were hoarding food. The government asked the public, please do not do this. There's enough food to go around for everyone as long as people do not hoard food. It looks like now people are following through on this. Now, I've spoken to a number of Malaysians who tell me they are comfortable with the government's decision despite the inconveniences of these 14 days of restricted movement, but they believe that in the long run it is the best thing for their health and the best thing for the country.
After seemingly containing the virus here in Hong Kong, the big fear now is a second wave of infections. There's already been a surge in recent days of imported cases, and Hong Kong is now taking steps to shut out the outside world.
Life remains relatively calm in Taiwan. Panic is rarely seen here, but vigilance has been the common practice since the very beginning of the outbreak. Wearing a mask and temperature checks have become the daily routine on the island.
South Korea appears to be making some progress in its battle against the coronavirus. As you can see here, the streets and sidewalks of the capital seem to have sort of regular traffic, although honestly it's far from the norm. There remains concern regarding cluster outbreaks, though, here in the capital, Seoul. Still, the main point is, over the past week in particular, we've seen a decline in the confirmed coronavirus cases announced, with fewer than 100 coming out each day. South Koreans seem to be prepared, though, for an ongoing sort of containment and mitigation. South Korean schools, it was announced this week, will remain closed through April 6th. And the government is encouraging people still to stay indoors, banning large gatherings, and of course always calling on everyone to stay clean.
South Africa declared the outbreak a national disaster. Schools closed, many land borders closed, people from high-risk countries are not allowed to enter anymore. But the key question here is, will the health sector be able to cope with an increasing number of infections?
I could never have imagined that people in Europe would ask me to send them this. Hand sanitizers from Nigeria. But nothing is normal these days. Here in West Africa, a region where people already face infrastructure and security challenges, they now watch in disbelief as people are fighting over toilet paper in parts of the world considered much better off. So far, there is no panic here as only a small number of cases have been confirmed across the region. So are we lucky, people ask me, or simply much better prepared with lessons learned from the Ebola crisis? And as you look over here at this newspaper stand, you will not find the coronavirus in the main headlines, but rather the death toll from an explosion here in Lagos. Ordinary citizens appear to be less concerned about catching the coronavirus themselves and more concerned about the economic impact the spread of the virus in other parts of the world may have on them.
Colombia is nervous with the government announcing more and more drastic measures every day. There's little trust in its ability to actually enforce them. People also fear that a spike in cases might lead to the collapse of an already unstable healthcare system.
We're in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., and normally what you see here is bumper-to-bumper traffic jam day and night, and people on the sidewalks all over the place. Now it's virtually deserted. This is the coronavirus seeping through the cracks of what was the American life just days ago. Now this is all going to change.